Young nigga never thank the Lord, 'cause young nigga never really pray. Young nigga always on the Insta, looking for that bitch who really stay. Young bitch gon' think of course he got it. Young bitch gon' say my friend he pay. Young bitch gon' open up a lid. Young bitch forgotten like she dead. They closing up fly, be the most I could find. I'm token, I know that I'm open to minds. The potion been potent, opponents divide. Evoking emotions of soulless divides. Remotely eloping like runaway brides. My DMs, they buzzing in the PMs. But I am with the BS, only about the divas. Can't see us, but we be up. Forget about Tamishas, forget about your feelings. The focus, financial freedom before we finesse and freak up.
I go by the name of uVerd Hawkins. I'm an artist by profession and by life. I'm a writer, and I'm a lover of cartoons and cereal, especially Dragon Ball Z. It's a classic, man. I'm a normal kid from Durban. What I do is just enjoy the best, like the best that I can get out of life. Upbringing, hey man, I come from a small township. It's not really a township, it's like a semi-suburb of Wynbank in Durban. Mom, dad, 4 other siblings, so I'm the last born. 2 older sisters, 2 older brothers as well. My upbringing was nice, man. I can't complain about anything. I used to climb trees, you know, the usual. Come back before the street light is on, you know, lose your shoes. Those type of things, man. Like the normal day-to-day things that we all go through as, like, you know, Africans. And like, what else can I say, bro? I just had a lovely upbringing, man. Got support, love. My support structure is beautiful. My sister, my brothers. My brother's actually my manager now, so as well, yeah. So in a nutshell, man, I've had the greatest of childhoods, and it's only getting better. Maskandi. Well, funny thing is, I grew up in a household where music was like your daily bread, basically. You know those Sundays where it's like long hard day and you can't really do anything with your day, so music was always there. But I'd say my best influences in terms of choosing hip-hop would be my older brother. He was the one who started writing first. In fact, I still remember my first ever script. Like, it was whack, the wackest thing I ever wrote in my life. But yeah, so hip-hop, because you tell a story. Before anything, hip-hop, rap basically is called rhythm and poetry. So I was a poet at first before anything. Like, I was writing from grade 6, 5. Before we were drawing Dragon Balls, I was writing as well. So I've been a writer my whole life, but it only makes sense to make the general progression to put those writings into, like, you know, melodic terms, you know, and all of those things. So I love hip hop because you get to learn about a person on a personal level, as to opposed to other genres where it's just pop, where you just dancing, whatever. So hip hop spoke to me, and I just resonate with the culture itself. Yeah, so taking you in terms of my thought process, comes from the weirdest of places. Like, for instance, what's this mango season, like the winter EP, like all of it was conceived with me washing dishes. It was like, because I usually leave the dishes till like late in the night. So I was washing dishes one night, 3 a.m. and a producer of mine from Durban sent me a beat, and like the whole concept just came to me. So when it comes to thought processes and how I get to the final product, it's either or. Some days it's gonna be one thing where I just have it's just oozing the whole day, né? Just oozing the whole day, and then I finish the whole thing like 30 minutes. But some days it will take me about weeks or months to finish one idea. So my thought process revolves around how I'm feeling in that moment in time. So if I'm not feeling good about the idea already conceived, chances are I'm not going to finish it for a couple of weeks until I can recreate that emotional feeling that I got when I got it at that day. If that makes any sense, y'all. Oh, winter came to me at a time when I was washing dishes, of course, but I just moved from Durban, so I was in Pretoria, like new surroundings, unfamiliar environment, and all of that. So I started reminiscing a lot, and what I was trying to capture with that EP, because the essence of winter is being cold. But when the weather is cold, I feel like a lot of us, love the cold. So the winter was me reminiscing on childhood things that perhaps I might have missed out on. So I was reliving a lot of moments that I didn't embrace at the time. So for me, winter is capturing your reminiscence of childhood and looking forward to the future. And then the follow-up EP is just further a continuation of those thoughts that I couldn't release at the time because they weren't really coinciding with the fundamental plot. But now that I think I'm matured more with my writing, the next EP is like a continuation of the first winter EP. So that's what I was trying to capture with winter, was just childhood thoughts and reliving moments that at the time I couldn't embrace. Yeah. The new EP, Winter Solstice. Well, it's a compilation of tracks that I've been recording for over 2 years now. But the general concept behind it is having conversations with insomnia. Because when I was like, how can I put this? A lot of times when I had to study this year, I would just spend my whole night just chilling, having random thoughts about stuff. So I decided to put thoughts I was having into writing and tell the story. So it's basically me personifying insomnia into a female entity and having conversations with her and other side convos that might ensue. It's not a lot, but it's just the thought process of being awake in the AMs. Yeah, so in terms of this being a calling, I do believe that all of us have a talent and we're given by God. So I was blessed enough to know how to write and to incorporate that into song. So I feel like if I don't use this talent, it's a waste of life. So yes, I do feel this is my calling because I can either help, influence, or change someone's life through music, whether it's just a vibe at the function or just a mellow-out vibe at home too, or some story that they can relate to and resonate with, that can help change their perspective and outlook on life. So what inspires my work? In a nutshell, man, it's gonna sound so narcissistic, but yeah, I'm inspired by my outlook on life, my thought process, and how I process what I see. Like, for instance, Mango Season was conceived because I was writing matric at a friend's house. I stayed there for like 2 weeks while studying, and then it was Mango Season, and then I wanted to recapture that moment, and the only thing that a phrase that put all of this together was mangoes for me. So like how I think inspires me as well, but not only that, talking to different people. I won't say I'm a socialite, but I do engage in a lot of like conversations with other people. I really love learning about different cultures and other just different people from different walks of life. So what inspires me is how I view the world and how other people view the world. Other than that, I'd say, man, everything else I see, like I imitate life. How do I feel about the essay industry? I mean, in general, I feel like we've grown immensely over the past couple of years, especially with the likes of these guys filling up domes and whatnot. But personally, I'd say we haven't grown enough. I feel like, how can I put this? I feel like we're only fine-tuned to hear only like one specific side of the story. It's either you're doing hip-hop, let me just say socially acceptable genres, or for me, I'm an experimental artist, so being widely accepted is something that all of us seek, but it seems like we are being marginalized. So how I feel about the industry is a give and take type of thing. I'm happy that we're pushing forward for more local content, but at the same time, that also draws some contradictions, because what you hear on the radio, yes, it might be a local artist, but they sound nothing, like they have nothing, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know how to put this, but I feel like our industry is growing, but the rate at which we are growing is not fast enough. We are actually like, we have everything in our grasp to be world standard, but we choose to only keep ourselves in this corner of the market. I feel like we could do so much more as people, you know? But in a nutshell, I love how we have grown, but I do feel like there's major room for improvement as well. Motherfucker fucking heavy, bro. I was laughing.